Green here with Nerdladdin's Castle, and it's been 10 days.
10 whole days.
10 whole days since Mega Replay has opened. It opened on the 12th. Today is this is the night of the 22nd. So not even a full 2 weeks, and we're doing a follow-up video now of everything that we've bought
Since the opening.
I've been back 4 times, so I've been there a total of 5 times now.
And I just went today, and that was my 5th time since the opening, so 6 times total.
And, well, as you can see, we've got a couple things.
1 or 2.
And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So, I actually picked this one up today for the Sega Genesis. Sonic and Knuckles. And I was happy to get it because I've seen the copies where this hatch is busted off. Maybe kids in the 90s just thought if you kept going there was something else. So, Sonic and Knuckles for the Sega Genesis.
Good one, good one. Let's see. Well, we'll just start off with the big one here. I got Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube.
Hell of a game.
Yes, and I actually don't have very much experience at all with it, and that needs to change, so I had to buy it.
It's got a $30 price tag on it. Well worth it. Well worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Mario Kart games do not go down in price. I'll continue with the Genesis theme here. I got X-Men in the box, and
Sex-Man in the box.
doesn't have the instructions, but yeah, X-Men. I've actually never played it, but it looks like a platformer beat 'em up. I mean, I think it was only like $2.99, and just the box alone, I'm like, that's cool. So gotta have that.
Okay. Next up, I got a cool red cartridge of Doom on the Super NES.
That's a shitty ass version of Doom.
Hey, but it's cool. It's red.
Yeah, it'll go well with your Maximum Carnage.
Yes. Yeah, I can get them confused.
Was there? I don't think there was any other red NES, Super NES games.
I don't know right offhand, but I've got 2 now.
Why don't you know? Another Genesis game. I actually already owned this game, but I just had the cartridge. Street Fighter II Special Champion Edition. This one's one of my favorite home versions to play because it's not ridiculously hard, and it has the manual and everything in there. The game looks pretty nice, so stoked. And I love it when the Genesis games still have the little tab to hang them by. That's always that's pretty cool. So another $2.99 thing, just worth it for the box itself.
Yeah. Next up, again, Super NES. Oh, this game's awesome and you know it.
Yeah, it doesn't make me want to drink at all.
Turtles, Tournament Fighters. This is different than the Genesis version because on this one you get to play as different characters. You get Shredder and Chrome Dome and
you were telling me about some ass girl.
I think her name's like Asuka, something like that, but she literally throws her ass at you. It's a move that she does.
She take it off and throw it?
No, she just throws her whole body, ass first.
Okay, I wondered if maybe it was like Kung Lao, which is throws it.
No, nothing like that.
Speaking of amazing 16-bit fighting games.
You were just jealous of my copy.
Shaq Fu in the box for the Sega Genesis. The back of it says, "Come get yours." Yeah.
Come get yours.
Yeah, everybody's gonna want a copy of Shaq Fu, so go get yours.
Yeah.
$2.99 for that one. Shaq Fu. I wonder if I can get it signed by him. That would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, there you go. That would cost you way more than the game.
Yeah.
I'll sign this for $500.
It's not happening, Shaq.
Okay, we'll go with the Genesis games now. Alright, first up on the Genesis we got The Adventures of Batman and Robin. I picked this up, was not today's trip, but the trip before that.
Check your Facebook.
Yeah, I have been posting everything because I like to make people jealous when I can. It doesn't happen often.
You know, you've got some stuff that has made me jealous. Maybe not so much that one, but it might be a cool game. I don't have any experience with that one.
I'm just a huge Batman fan, so you know, except for Batman Forever. That game's horrible.
Which you have.
I do have that. That's why I know it's horrible.
For the Super NES. moving on now to the NES, I have... This makes my Turtles 1 through 4 collection almost complete. I have Turtles 2, I have Turtles 4, and now I have the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I have a lot of experience with this game as a kid, because when these were new and you had them as a kid, you were forced to play the shit out of them,
yeah.
Even if it was something that would make you go, "This sucks." So I'll dick around with it. It's not the greatest.
Mom and Dad are like, "You're gonna play that goddamn game. I paid."
If you're looking for a good turtle beat 'em up, pass this one up. However, if you're looking for an alright cheap turtle game, I'd go with this over Tournament Fighters any day. So, okay.
Nonsense.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Okay, next up, again on the Genesis, we have Awesome Possum. Now, if you watch the other videos on this channel, you will have heard very briefly about Awesome Possum from Mike.
What was he saying about this? He was describing it, but man, what show was it that he was describing it on? Wasn't it on?
It was on the Drinking with Coast to Coast, where he had all the systems out, the NES and the Super NES.
On our podcast, we were talking about Genesis, Super NES, and NES, and he was talking about Awesome Possum. And
yep, I found a copy.
And I've been wanting to check that out, so we might play with our possum later. Okay, moving on with the NES, a great one, Super Mario Brothers 2. And Zach and I, and our friend Michael, we've recently learned that copies of at least the Mario games, the games that came with the systems, the ones without the seal of approval are the ones that came with the system. So this one does not have a seal of approval on it, so that means this was in a Super Mario 2 bundle with the NES. That's a pretty good educated guess. I think that's what's going on here.
Possibly.
If we're wrong, don't freak out on the comments.
We were nerdy enough to notice the difference. We just don't exactly know what it means.
Yeah, so this one does not have the seal of approval on it. Seal of quality, sorry, not approval. I'm an idiot.
God.
I should just
kill yourself now, dude.
I'll kill myself with
slowly
with this Keystone Light.
There you go. Alright, moving on. Last game for the Genesis that I bought recently is Real Monsters. Love the cartoon, and I needed some Genesis games because at some point here soon I will be getting the Retro Trio.
Yes, highly recommended.
Yeah, so I can play all three, and I need some Genesis games. Now I've got 3 of them.
Yeah. Is that a platformer?
I will tell you, I don't know a whole lot about it. I just like Real Monsters.
I'm gonna bet you it sucks as bad as a Ren and Stimpy game. So, okay. Now, the most expensive one for the NES I've recently acquired.
Most expensive thing total, I think.
Here in this pile.
Well, yeah,
I think so. Mega Man, original Mega Man, $50. But that's about what it's worth. The sticker is perfect.
Yeah, it's good.
And it's a great game. I had it when I was a kid. It's fucking hard. I'll probably never beat it. But it had to be a part of my collection. I know that I was recently, when I was at ONET, they had Mega Man 6, I believe it was 6 or 5. They had 2 copies of it. One was $70 and the other was $100. And that's because the $100 one came with the instructions. So Mega Man games are pricey.
A little bit.
Anyway.
Now we get into the biggest part of my recently acquired collection, which is NES games.
We're done with my NES. Time for your NES.
Yes, and I have a lot. This one I just picked up today for $6.99. Yeah, I don't think that's the correct price, but hey, I'm not going to complain. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Yeah!
Yeah!
That's a hell of a good game.
Yes. So
original Punch-Out is $6.99. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the sticker's wrong, but like I said, I'm not going to complain if you want to give it to me for cheaper than it's supposed to be.
Yes. Now I'm going to move on to my Super Nintendo. I've been trying to beef up my Super NES collection because I don't have a lot. I have the good ones. I've got Mario. I've got the Donkey Kongs, however they're for Super Famicom, but I guess that counts.
Still.
I've got Star Fox, Turtles 4, some definite titles that you should have, but I've been wanting to add. So, starting off with Mortal Kombat 2. Obviously, you know I'm a fan of Mortal Kombat 2.
A little bit.
Little bit. Mortal Kombat 2.
He's played it a tad.
I don't know if I could beat the arcade game though.
This is
The Super NES version was the first home version that I ever had, so I really like playing this now because it just seems like I'm at home when I'm playing it. Of course, back then I was just dying for it to be as good as the arcade game. But when I first got it back in the day, $6 here. But when I first got it back at the night it came out, I actually got it like the night before it came out. Babbage's, now known as GameStop, was not as good at making you wait at the minute you're supposed to. $80 was what I paid for this game back in 1994. So $6 to get it back, not too bad.
Not too shabby. Okay, next up on the NES, you've already seen this today, but oh well. Turtles.
Now hang on. I think your sticker looks a little bit nicer than mine.
And no, you can't trade.
If we could just... Damn it! Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, so you've already heard about that, but I've been trying to get the Turtles on the NES so I can complete my Turtles collection, which is now quite beefed up.
Does that complete your 1 through 4?
No, I have one left.
Oh, okay. I have one left to go too. So.
And I can't say which one because I have another one coming up in the stack.
Which he bought for me.
No, I did not.
All right. So, more Super Nintendo and more great games made by Midway and from that arcade era. NBA Jam.
Mm-hmm.
Every copy of NBA Jam for any system is usually pretty cheap and so worth getting.
Absolutely.
It does not count as a sports game. Definitely counts as an arcade game because you know, usually those sports games they're like in the dollar bin, and sometimes you'll find NBA Jam in the dollar bin. But
if you're lucky.
I hate basketball. I don't like to play sports games, but this is I mean, you get to beat the shit out of the other players.
Yeah.
So
if you don't like sports games and you want to try one and you haven't played NBA Jam in any version, pretty much do it.
NBA Jam.
You should enjoy it because I'm not a huge fan of sports games. I'll buy one every now and again, but very rarely. But NBA Jam is absolutely worth the money.
I think Gamercock episode 7 features NBA Jam tournament edition for the 32X. And,
which I won, by the way.
Yeah, he won.
By 1 point. But I don't care.
I don't want to talk semantics. Yeah, and so there's lots of different versions of that game, and it'll definitely reappear on the show several times, on Gamercock several times.
Look forward to it. Next up, we got a good one here. Kirby's Adventure.
Nice.
For $10.
Not a girly game at all. That is a manly game,
yes.
And men play it.
Manly men.
Yeah. I had Kirby's Dream Land for the Game Boy when I was growing up, and they're pretty similar, I think, and awesome. They're easy, but they're just they're that you play them after Donkey Kong Country when you're ready to stop being pissed. Speaking of good classic games,
that's a good one.
Miss Pac-Man for the Super NES. The Super Nintendo version is really cool. It's not just the arcade game. It's, you know, the old arcades, they had that longer screen. So the way they handle it on this, instead of boxing it in, is the screen scrolls up and down, so it kind of adds a whole new challenge to it. And I've enjoyed this game, this exact version, on my arcade machine, and been wanting to get an actual physical copy of it. So it's a really cool version of Miss Pac-Man to play. $6.
Yeah. And if you don't know what the difference is between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man has a bow.
So you've been watching Wayne's World.
Maybe.
Miss Pac-Man also has different mazes, and the fruit moves around, and there are some other differences. Zach. Anyway.
Sorry, just any chance to quote Wayne's World I can get.
Well, Jesse will never get those quotes.
No.
So another great classic.
Yeah, which I think you picked this up on opening day, right?
I sure did.
Donkey Kong Classics. So it's got Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. 2 great games in one game pack.
Yes, and that looks
like...
Two! It's a twofer! It's 2, and the sticker on there looks pretty decent.
Yeah, it's good. I was happy with it. Good condition. Yeah, and $6.99, so pretty good price.
Yeah, that's really awesome price. Pretty awesome game version of Donkey Kong. I love Donkey Kong. The arcade game is harder than that version, but I still can't get all to level 6. I think that's as far as you can go. Whatever. Here's a game that I've played a little bit of and have never owned, but hear a lot of good things about. F-Zero. Yeah, F-Zero for the Super Nintendo. Another $6 game. A lot of. I mean, you could spend $50 on Mega Man, but you can also spend $60 and end up with 10 great games. Yeah. So, cool racing game. I know it was one of the early Super Nintendo games, and it uses the Mode 7 graphics and all that cool shit. So, I can't wait to find out if I suck at it or not. So.
Yeah, that's on my list of games to get eventually. I actually don't have that one yet. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, there's one I don't have.
and that's a shame on you. Tiny Toon Adventures on the NES. Yeah, I don't really know a whole lot about it, but I'm pretty sure it's just another platformer with Tiny Toon's characters.
If it's anything like, I had one for the Genesis. It was Buster, not Buster Busts Out or Buster.
Busts Out, I think.
Buster Busts a Nut. It was made by Konami. Oh, that's made by Konami too. So that's a good sign when a game is made by Konami. In fact, I have it's on a poster that comes with my copy of Sunset Riders for the Genesis. But it was something Tiny Toon Adventures with Buster, and it was a good platformer for the Genesis. So you might be doing good with that.
Yeah, it's only $6.99 anyway, so it's not like I spent a shitload of money on it if I don't like it.
No, sometimes it's like fun just to check out games.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing.
To complement my Street Fighter II Champion Edition for the Genesis, I have Street Fighter II, which was the first home version of Street Fighter II, I think, for the Super NES. Yep. I think it was the first home version ever. There was one for the TurboGrafx 16, but it didn't make it to the US, so it might be technically the first US home version, which is also an excellent port of an excellent fighting game. The original Street Fighter II. No fluff, no turbo, no hyper, no super, no duper.
Nope.
No.
That's the exact version that I got too.
Panky version of Street Fighter. It's just Street Fighter II.
Yep, I've got that one in the box, sitting at home.
In the box!
In the box!
Yeah.
I took care of my games when I was a kid. All the games, pretty much, that I had before I started upping my collection here, pretty much were in the box for the Super Nintendo.
I always kept all the boxes too, and then at one point every box got lost in a move. But the box were always separate from the games. Always wanted to keep them nice. So Super NES boxes make those. Super NES games are already worth a lot. They're generally the counterpart. Your Super NES counterpart is worth as much as a Genesis game in box with instructions for just the damn Super NES card. Now you try to add the instructions in Super NES box, it's because they were crappy cardboard boxes. You know, the Genesis ones you wouldn't look at throw out, but the Super Nintendo ones you kept if you were a nerd. So good deal.
All right, moving right along. By Capcom, we have Little Nemo Dream Master. Yeah, for $5.99. So I mean, it's a little beat up here on the side and that, but the label's in good condition. And
I think that was actually a good game.
I've heard some good things about it, and I mean, I basically just picked this up because I remember the movie, and which I loved as a kid, and I figured, hey, it can't be that bad. So for $5.99.
What is on the... Oh, that's the tree. Okay.
Yeah.
From here, it looked like somebody scribbled on it. Well, the sticker's in good shape.
Yeah, sticker's in good shape. Cartridge is a little scuffed, a little beat up there on the...
Looks like there was a big rental
probably
sticker here. Sticker. Yeah, this was a rental because you could tell it had like the cross tapes here where they put on there to keep you from stealing, and it would just fuck up the back stickers. Stupid Blockbuster cocks. Anyway, moving along. Now that I just got done swearing, it's time for a super cute kitty game for the N64. Diddy Kong Racing. I love Mario Kart 64, which is of course superior to this. Well, yeah. But I always wanted to kind of check this out as well. One nice thing about being able to collect these games now is they're no longer $75 a pop like they were when the N64 was new. So yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. I played a little bit of it. It's super kiddie. More kiddie than Mario Kart. If you play Mario Kart 64 after playing this, you're gonna feel like you're playing like Gran Turismo. So it's fun. A definite, you always want to add the Nintendo icons to your NES or Nintendo collection.
Yeah, got to. Oh, here's a good one. I know you love this one.
Oh, one of my favorite.
Not gonna lie, I basically just picked this up because one, I've heard it's a bitch-ass game and probably pretty shitty, and I just like the character. It's one of my favorite Marvel characters. Silver Surfer. Picked this up for $9.99. So
that's overpriced.
So I can frustrate myself beyond belief.
If you're not familiar with how bad that game is, just look up any video. I suggest the Angry Video Game Nerd review on that. You won't catch me trying to play that shit. I like enjoying my life. Wave Race 64.
Very good cheap game.
Yeah, only $2.99. I never had it. I've heard some good things about it, and I was pretty impressed. I thought it actually was a pretty looking game. Mm-hmm. Graphically pretty impressive for the system. I sucked balls at it. I was oversteering just insanely. So I don't know if the game is notorious for that or if I'm just terrible, but $2.99.
I think you're just terrible, because I remember being pretty good at it myself. I haven't played it in many a year, though.
You're just a terrible person.
Well, yeah.
Speaking of terrible...
Hey, these are all great games. They're just insanely hard. The Simpsons. Bart versus the Space Mutants.
Yeah.
I mean, $5.99. I'm a big Simpsons fan. Have been for many years. Sticker. Yeah. Stickers in good condition. Cartridge is in pretty good condition. Not too many marks or anything to speak of. So.
Not too lot of schmutz.
Yeah, not a lot of schmutz. A lot of schmutz on there.
Yeah, Space Mutant or Bart versus the Space Mutants. Hard, kind of dumb in what you have to do in the game. It's like they were just coming up with the plot real quick.
Yeah,
but it's a Simpsons related game.
It's a Simpsons game. I've got Bart's Nightmare, which is a nightmare to play.
Well, so's that. So there you go.
Yeah. So apparently they're all just fucking insanely hard, but it's The Simpsons, so you'll buy it anyway.
They copied and pasted the game pretty much, so good for you. I did see a copy for the Genesis and thought about picking it up today. I was like, well, I'll have the one with the better graphics. Screw those 16-bit. We're not ready for that. Or are we ready for 64? Because everything on the 64 is 64. Excitebike 64. Is it as good as the original Excitebike? I don't know. It's hard to say nostalgic-wise, but it is a really cool game. And I think it does make a decent sequel to Excitebike. I'm trying to get good at it. It does take advantage of the expansion pack that came with my N64 that I picked up on the last episode where we were talking about Mega Replay stuff. So,
it's one of the main things I'm jealous about that you have is that damn expansion pack.
Why didn't you pick one up? They're only $25.
Only.
So Excitebike 64. I'm pretty happy to have this one. I do find myself trying to get better at this one, not so much Wave Race, but that's okay.
That's alright. I'll teach you Wave Race.
No. Alright, see what you got.
I'm probably horrible at it.
We can play it on my N64 with the expansion pack.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself. Moving right along. This is a pickup from today, Super Mario Brothers 2. And this does have the official Nintendo seal of quality.
So his must have more quality than mine.
Yep, it does. And pretty good condition, just maybe a little bit of dirt here or there on the top or in the corners, but
if there's what other kinds of differences there might be. Don't worry, we can't get them mixed up. I think it's just literally the seal of quality is added to it. I've also noticed the backs of the ones with the seals say 1985 on them and have a copyright, and these do not. We're not going to show you all that, but we will show you. See. There. I don't know if it's going to focus. There we go. Seal quality in the corner. No seal quality. It's sort of focusing. There we go. Okay. There you is.
Yeah.
All right. Moving right along. Something I did used to have, and actually is the only Mortal Kombat title that I haven't owned, that I currently, until now, did not own a physical copy of. Mortal Kombat 4 for the N64. I do even have Mortal Kombat Special Forces for the. I don't want to talk about that, but anyway, Mortal Kombat 4. I had.
Shouldn't there be a 6 in front of that?
Mortal Kombat 64. Yeah, oh man, I got ripped off. It does have the seal of quality though.
Oh.
So, fun game. I do have Mortal Kombat Gold for the Dreamcast, which is the upgraded version of 4, but it's a different title, so technically I now have Mortal Kombat 4 to go to my Mortal Kombat collection.
Alright. Okay, next up for me, after Super Mario Bros. 2, I got Super Mario Bros. 3. Gotta have this one. I mean,
Gotta applaud you for that.
That's a good one. A little bit, like I said, a little bit of dirt on this one, but labels in good condition, no tears or anything like that. It's not peeling off. So this was, I kind of wanted to wait to get this game. That's why I just got it today, because it's one of those things that
You waited long enough.
You can find it, at enough places.
Yeah,
Odds
pretty
are
common. Pretty common.
Yeah, it's not a hard game to find, so I wanted to get some of the other ones out of the way first.
That is hands down. Mario 3 is my favorite video game. If I really could only have one, good thing that's not a factor.
Yes. You have to get rid of everything else. You can keep Super Mario Bros. 3.
I'm thinking about getting rid of my Tengen Tetris because it won't play
in your 32X.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We'll get an update on that. Moving along, to go with my awesome green N64, because that was the one that came with Donkey Kong 64, I got Donkey Kong 64 to go along with it. Pretty cool, I guess. It's Mario 64 is way better. And honestly, I can't tell where to go. I've done a couple things and I'm constantly lost. So, way to go, Nintendo.
It's been a while since I've played that one, and I don't think I had as hard of a time as you seem to be having, but I never beat the game. I just
keep losing where to go. I'm like, well, where do I go now? What am I doing? Why can't the game needs to be a little more linear, because it's just... So what do you got?
Well, this is my last item, since you've got more than I do. But I'm really, really stoked about this one. I had a boner.
I would have. I think I had one for you.
Yeah, I was definitely sporting some major wood going up to the checkout with this one. And that would be Turtles 3, the Manhattan Project on NES. And I mean, just look at the damn thing, would you?
It's in fantastic shape.
Seriously.
Fantastic shape.
Yeah, great shape, and I mean, $20, which is pretty good price.
Is that how much it was? 20?
Yep, $19.99.
Totally worth it.
So this is, I mean, like I say, great condition, and I have one Turtles game left that I need, and that would be Turtles 2, obviously. Because you've seen, I have Turtles 1, I've talked about having Turtles 4 for the SNES, and now I've got Turtles 3.
I have the opposite. I have Turtles 2. I need Turtles 3. So, all right. Yeah, you might want to protect yourself. So, you want to get drunk tonight?
No.
You go home with less stuff. Okay, next game for me is I haven't played this. Star Fox 64.
It's a good one.
I'm looking forward to it. I loved Star Fox. Never got Star Fox 64 back in the day.
Do a barrel roll.
I will. Don't you worry about it. Yeah, Star Fox 64, and since I'm the only one left, another great one. This is actually NBA Jam 3. I wish they had labeled it this, because I didn't realize back in the day that NBA Hang Time was the third NBA Jam.
Another good one.
Yes, and it's actually I would say nearly arcade perfect on the N64. It's a fantastic game to play. I just always passed it up because well, like how some people don't realize an NBA Jam really should be considered a sports game, I thought this was just some NBA game. Anyway, NBA Hang Time. Really glad to own it now. Pretty awesome for the N64.
Another one on my list to get. I actually do want that game.
And it's also got one of these son of a bitch void marks from a rental store. I've been working on getting that goo off there. And my final item that I got, which I absolutely love having, is the Sega Sports, the black Dragcast. The Dragcast, yeah. The black Dreamcast. For white people, though.
Yes. Sports edition.
Sega Sports. Yeah, it's the only uncool thing about it, but it's like, well, I'm not going to play the sports games, but it's the black Sega Dreamcast. I always wanted it back in the day, and now since my original Sega Dreamcast that I've owned since 2000 has faded to yellow, I'm really glad to have this. I just think it's a lot more sleek looking, that it's
sporty. That's why it's the sports edition.
Sega Sports! And even came with the matching controller. Now these I already had, but came with the cool black controller, and it's been making me bust out my Dreamcast games again. And unfortunately, I haven't seen too much that I want from Mega Replay for the Dreamcast, but I do already have quite an extensive Dreamcast collection. So
yeah.
Well, that wraps it up. So 10 days later.
And many, many dollars later.
Many a dollar we've spent. The Dreamcast only cost me $25. That's
a good price.
Which was, which is surprising because the regular white one costs $35. So I don't know if that's a racist thing. But this is actually the more rare one. So it doesn't make any sense that this one was $25. But hey.
Well.
Here we are. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Fuck off!